coming up on BU Terriers All Access. We'll go through game day with senior forward Matt Lane. Visit with BU alum, NHL veteran, and current head hockey coach at the River School, Sean McEachran. And sit down with Terriers co-captain Danny O'Regan.
We wanted more of these guys. Let's go.
Any hockey player will tell you there's nothing like game day. That feeling is especially strong in a place like Boston University. Just ask Terrier centerman Matt Lane.
He's a guy that agitates people.
I like to combine skill and grit. High energy, a fast player. That allows me to create space and time for my line mates.
To me, at the end of the day, when the whistle blows, if you've ticked off the other team, you're playing the way that you should be playing.
Idiot. There's no question that the senior co-captain plays with energy and emotion. That intensity starts long before the puck drops.
You know, probably from Thursday night's pregame meal all the way up to game, I've pretty much done the same thing since I've been a freshman. College hockey, you only get 2 games on the weekend, and you work for it all week. There's nothing more fun than getting up and getting going for that Friday night game. We all get to the rink 2 hours before the game, and that's when the enthusiasm tends to kick in.
Hey boys, let's continue to elevate the energy from now until puck drop, all right? We need a big win tonight. Win on 3. 1, 2, 3, win!
And then we warm up and we hit the ice. Before the game, I like to be energetic. I like the interaction. I like kind of being that guy that's loose in the locker. I'm not afraid to speak up, whether it's criticism or bringing that positive energy. So in between periods, outside the rink, in the weight room, you know, whatever it may be, I feel that I'm a guy that people listen to.
The meeting after the meeting is the most important meeting. What I mean by that is when the coaches go in and talk and they walk out of the locker room, the next 2 minutes are huge. You know, what are the leaders saying in that locker room?
Stay nice and composed in here. Don't think about anything besides winning your next shift.
Should be balls to the wall for all 60 minutes. And we gotta get back in here and play 20 more. Behind 2 goals. Better dig deep because we're not losing this game.
You know, when your leaders do that, day in and day out, you get a much better chance to have success.
And here he comes walking in, and here comes Matt Lane, back in, forehand, and a goal! Matt Lane on the right side.
He's just a winner. He wants to win at everything he does. It's that type of attitude really sparks the guys.
He's always someone who brings an upbeat enthusiasm to the locker room, and I think all the guys really take notice of that.
He's always scoring clutch goals and, you know, never taking a shift off. He's always working hard, and just to see a guy do that sparks the guys on the bench.
I like to consider myself a guy who likes to communicate. Me and my line mates, we talk probably every shift.
I knew there wasn't anyone on you. Why don't you line up in the middle? If I got nothing, so it opens up this shot lane for you.
I feel like I get better as the game goes on.
Give it to him.
Whether it's my legs getting underneath me or getting used to the other team.
Nice breakout, Duck, come on.
You learn year in and year out how close games are and how close points are in our league and how close points are at the end of the year when it comes time to make the tournament. It sounds crazy, but the season kind of comes down to a couple minutes, a couple shifts, a couple games. You know, if we want to make the tournament, if we want to be successful and accomplish what our goals are, which are winning championships, that every game, every minute is so important in college hockey.
Let's go.
We're happy where we are right now. We know that there's better things to come, and you know, we're looking forward to the second half. We think that we can do special things this year, similar to the attitude we had last year.
Lane sends it down low. Pickenich goes back behind the net. In front for Lane. He scores! It's Matt Lane, the forward out of Rochester, New York.
This fall, members of the women's basketball and men's hockey teams participated in the 15th annual Greater Boston Walk Now for Autism event.
One of the things we are very proud of at Boston University is our association with our connected community, our adjacent community.
My daughter Lisa, who's severely autistic, is a big hockey fan, and you know, she loves going to rinks and watching hockey.
Well, Larry Cancro has been a lifelong supporter of BU hockey. His daughter Lisa has autism, and we've done an awful lot of work with them through starting with Jack Parker back in the late 90s, early 2000s, and it's just grown.
2004, autism wasn't in the mainstream as a charitable idea the way it is today.
Autism Speaks is the largest autism science and advocacy program in the United States. It has been the charity of choice for the Terriers hockey program since 2004.
Universities should give back, first of all, because I think that's what they're designed to do, but I think further, I think that's where young people learn to do that as they enter adulthood.
As volunteers, the BU athletes helped set up the event, then interacted with parents and kids throughout the day.
I think it's really important to give back to those who aren't as fortunate, and going on the walks and everything. Anything we can do to give back.
You know, anytime you can give back to the community and make a kid's day better each and every day, I think that's something we try not to take for granted.
The hockey team and all of its members through the years have really impressed me. They haven't just said, oh, we're going to go and do some activities in support of this. It comes from their heart.
It's not just about, yeah, we did that to say that we were supportive. These people are really involved in their lives.
The public starts to learn that there's a way to accommodate families that deal with autism, and Boston University is one of the lead institutions really in the world on autism.
1, 2, 3.
With a chance, shoots, goal! Colin Wilson gives Nashville the lead.
College hockey, my dad played Dartmouth, and he pretty much put in my head that's what you're going to be doing. And I went and met with Parker and Quinn, and they're just awesome. I mean, they really sweet talked me into coming, and I think they were great at developing players, putting them in the NHL, and have a winning history. Quinn and Parker were always on me, having me play better. I was in the weight room. I mean, it was just everything. I mean, the facilities, the coaching staff, everything that you would need to develop into a player. It's a family. I go back and I trained at BU for the last 4 summers, and it certainly feels like it. I see Quinny every day and talk to him, and anytime you see somebody who played at BU, you become friends with them. So it's great to be a part of, and it's an extremely good school. So it had everything I wanted.
Ellis gets it into the slot, and there's a power play goal. Colin Wilson.
Up next on BU Terriers All Access, we'll catch up with high-scoring senior co-captain Danny O'Regan. Stay with us. Senior forward Danny O'Regan is a key part of the team's offense, an assistant captain, and an important member of the Terriers. For Danny, it's all part of a family tradition.
My mom was always showing me pictures, just buzzing around the ice. My dad and brother, me and Tommy. There's all these pictures of us playing street hockey. Spend like 5 hours a day just in my driveway. That whole time I was picturing myself in the bean pot. I mean, just always a dream of mine to play here and follow my dad's footsteps. Hopefully make it to the NHL, and I thought this was the best way to do it.
I really never had to give him a whole lot of advice, but he was always very, very driven, very, very motivated.
While Danny followed in his dad's footsteps and went to BU, older brother Tommy played at Harvard, which meant some interesting conversations around the dinner table come tournament time.
It was always both of our dreams to play in the bean pot. My dad was able to win it his junior year. Not too much trash talk or anything, because we seemed to find each other in the consolation round the first couple of years.
Up until that point, Tommy had the bragging rights. I want to say Harvard might have been like 5-0 up until that point in time, head-to-head against BU the first 3 years.
Here's Rodriguez on the turnover. Rodriguez centering. Danny O'Regan scores! And Danny O'Regan sends Boston University to the Bean Pot Championship game in double overtime.
Tough because it was his last shot at it, so I felt, I felt a little bad almost, but that was an insane moment for me.
Back comes Eichel again. Shot in front, score! Danny O'Regan!
Well, it's been fun to watch him grow as a person. He's a lot more mature and he's more of a leader.
Coach Quinn's a great coach. He holds people accountable to being, responsible and on and off the ice.
Danny's such an incredible kid, so likable. He's a great player. He cares an awful lot about his teammates. He cares about BU.
He has a high hockey IQ. I think he's underrated in terms of how crafty he is.
Probably one of the most skilled players that I've ever played with. Just his knack around the net and the amount of finish he has in his game. He's been producing ever since he stepped foot on campus.
Left side.
popped up in the air by accident. Now O'Regan on the jump. O'Regan in, backhand and a goal. Danny O'Regan.
Tom O'Regan had a great career at BU, and now Danny is doing the same. In fact, they are the first father and son in Division I hockey to both have 50-plus career goals.
I didn't know that. I know he's going to break my career points total here pretty quickly.
We never really went over the numbers or anything, or who's done better or anything like that, but I guess that's a cool stat.
It's very nice to hear, and I'm very happy for Dan that he's got 50. That's great.
And it looks like Danny's career won't end at BU. He was drafted in 2012 by the San Jose Sharks.
I remember it was a stressful day. Me and my family went to Pittsburgh for the draft. To hear my name called by the Sharks, it was a dream come true. It was a surreal moment. Great people, great organization, so I was really excited about it.
In addition to playing at BU, Tom O'Regan also played in the NHL. So when it came time for Danny to decide on whether to go pro or stay in school, Dad had some hard-earned wisdom to share.
Go back and play at BU. That's where all your friends are. You probably have another chance to go play, win a bean pot, hopefully get back in that national tournament and do something special on the amateur level while you're doing it with your friends. And you know, you love the coaching staff, you love Boston, you love college. You know, why not do that for another year? Because pro hockey is going to be there.
There's definitely an academic side to it. We both talked to Matt. We both wanted to get our degree. I think it's really important.
Guys have chances to sign pro contracts and they still want to come back to BU, and that certainly makes you feel good. And makes you feel like you're creating an environment where guys want to be here and they feel like they're getting better.
I think he's very, very happy with his time here. I think he's probably sad it's gone by so quickly, but I think he's trying to make the most out of his senior year.
We have a lot of fun here, and we love playing here. Yeah, there's definitely temptations to leave early, but I mean, I wouldn't trade a year playing at BU for anything.
Somebody finds Rodriguez, it's knocked away. Eichel takes his shot, save made, rebound, score! Danny O'Regan wins it for the Terriers with 12:33 to go in overtime!
Up next, we'll catch up with former Terrier, NHL standout, and current Rivers School head coach Sean McEachran when BU Terriers All Access continues.
Maybe one more goal? No. But a national championship for Boston University. It's done.
Sabinajad to an open Greiva scores. Great shot. Eric Greiva.
Well, I mean, playing at Boston University is, it's an elite program, academically and, on the ice. So it's, they have the ability to, prepare you for the real world outside of hockey, as well as, moving and, towards the NHL and playing pro. It was my recruiting visit. I mean, seeing the facility, seeing the city. I mean, I'd never really seen anything like Boston before. I was a kid from Saskatchewan. It was pretty overwhelming almost, but I knew it would be a fun city and obviously a great historical city. So it was, the choice was pretty easy for me. I was definitely tempted to leave after my junior year after we won the national title. But I kind of wanted to come back for my senior year, get my degree. I know we had an outdoor game against BC in Fenway that year, and I wanted to make sure that I was ready to step into the pros and make an impact. And I think that extra year did help me, develop a little bit more as a player and as a person, and I don't regret it at all.
Spencer! What a play! Back in front, puck is loose. Greiva buries it!
Come on, Charlie! Come on, Charlie!
The man with the whistle is the head coach and assistant athletic director of the Rivers School, Sean McEachran, a man with one very impressive hockey resume.
McEachran on a breakaway. Sean McEachran is in, he scores! A short-handed goal by McEachran.
Osa to the net. In front, score! McEachran to next will be a shot, score! McEachran, a short-handed goal.
A native of Waltham, Massachusetts, Sean's hockey career began in typical fashion at the local used equipment sale.
My parents took us to the ski and skate sale at Prospect Hill in Waltham, and they bought us some hockey equipment. We started playing it. So my dad never played hockey, my mom, so we were kind of the first ones to start playing. I think when I got to high school, I was still playing baseball and hockey at the same time, but I wasn't a very good baseball player, and I just wanted to go to college and play hockey. That was my main goal all the way through. I wanted to play at Matt Young High School, and I wanted to go play college hockey.
As one of the top high school prospects in the country, there was no doubt Sean would get the chance to play college hockey. The only question was where.
I think BU was always in my mind because of the 1980 Olympic team. Mike Ruzioni, Dave Silk, Jack O'Callahan, Jim Craig. I met with Jack Parker probably my senior year. Jack Parker and Tou Cahoon came to my house and did a visit, and we talked for a while. Then I visited BU, and I really liked being there. We had some really good players. Joe Sacco was there. Dave Sacco was committed from Medford. There's a couple guys I knew, and I wanted to stay local, so it was a great choice for me.
At BU, Sean was line mates with Keith Tkachuk and Tony Amonte, one of the greatest lines in college hockey history.
It's funny when you look back on teams, because at the time I think we were just a bunch of guys that loved playing hockey. I don't think we knew a bunch of us were going to get a chance to play in the NHL for a long time. But looking back, it's pretty special to get to play with those guys. But it was a good group of guys, just a bunch of kids from Boston that liked playing hockey. It wasn't, I don't think we felt like anything special.
Off the board. Here comes BU. Here's McEachron. McEachron is in. He scores! Sean McEachron. Boy, they could score from out of nowhere.
The best times at BU were probably the practices, hanging out at T. Anthony's afterwards, getting a steak and cheese and a slice of pizza over there at T. Anthony's and hanging out with your teammates. It was great to play pro hockey, and I really enjoyed high school, but my time at BU was really special. We had some really good teams. We went to the Final Four twice, went to the finals my last year, won a couple bean pots in the Hockey East title, and I still stay in touch with a lot of guys from the team today. And Jack was a great coach, and we had some great assistant coaches. Working with Mike Boyle when I was at BU, I think we were the first team to do that kind of strength conditioning training, and that really helped a bunch of us get to the next level.
For Sean, that next level began after his junior year at Boston University.
My last year at BU, we were lost in the national championship game, and then I was fortunate enough to make the Olympic team in '92. We played in the medal round, and then I went on to play in Pittsburgh, and we won the Stanley Cup that year. So it was a real busy year. It was a lot of hockey, but one of the best years of my life. We had a great time, but winning the Stanley Cup and getting to skate around the ice with my mom and dad and my family there was real fun.
After 15 seasons in the NHL, Sean retired from playing, but his time on the ice was definitely not over. He worked as an assistant coach at Salem State, Northeastern, and UMass Lowell before landing at the Rivers School.
This is my 6th year here now, and it's great coaching at any level. I think it's really special coaching high school kids, though. They're really focused on what they want to do. A lot of them are looking to play at the next level in college, and it's a lot of fun to work with them. They work extremely hard, and I've been fortunate to be here at Rivers.
Drills to get open, right? Move your feet.
I don't know if I'm most proud of anything. I wouldn't change any decisions I made, which is the nice thing to say. I think I picked the right college when I went to Boston University. I left after 3 years to go play in the Olympic team, and got a chance to win a Stanley Cup. Played for my hometown team. I don't have any regrets from my playing days.
Stefanelli stick handling off now for Amani. Here's McEachron. McEachron cutting in. Sean McEachron scores! BU wins the Hockey East Championship. Sean McEachron, overtime goal.
Coming up, we go behind the scenes at Agganis Arena as the Terriers hit the gym for some off-ice training in their state-of-the-art facility. Stay with us. Off-ice training is a key component to the success of the BU hockey program. The team's 4,800 square foot state-of-the-art hockey strength training center, located at Agganis Arena, is a gift from former BU players and NHL superstars Chris Drury and Keith Tkachuk.
I think this facility is amazing. I'm very lucky to come in and work here on a daily basis, and I think our athletes appreciate that as well. There's not too many facilities that are better than this, and that's in college hockey and the NHL.
Sean Skane, the new strength and conditioning coach of the Boston University men's ice hockey team, has spent the past 13 seasons with the Anaheim Ducks of the NHL, but he returned to his native Massachusetts this summer to take a job with the Terriers.
We're lucky that we get really good players who come to BU, and now it's a matter of developing these young players to help them not only succeed for BU, but probably a career after BU. It starts with the head coach, David Quinn. I mean, he knows the importance of it, just like Jack Parker knew the importance with Mike for so many years. And I think that tradition has carried on, where it's part of the fabric of BU hockey. It's, this is a big part of our success.
Greer finds Olsen over the line, goes from the middle to Greer.
Oh,
Carpenter! What a goal!
Oh, way to go, Bobo.
The off-ice training definitely complements the on-ice training in terms of the prevention of injuries and guys increasing speed, power, strength, all that stuff. I'm a big believer in the fact that you have to get everyone buying into what you're talking about. You create the buy-in by, fostering an environment where they can have fun and also get serious at the same time. We blend that together to make a program that emphasizes being healthy on the ice while also increasing strength. I think that comes from Mike Boyle, becoming a pioneer in hockey, developing a philosophy, and now we're just trying to continue that with developing players. If you look at all the NHL guys that have come through this program, we want to continue to do that, and that strength and conditioning is a big part of that.
Loose, Oxening shovels it back here.
What a pass.
Grizzlick down low, Oxening with a goal! What a look to Oxening!
Coach Quinn recruits really talented players, and I think we're going to provide them with everything we possibly can to help them maximize that talent and become good hockey players for BU hockey.
There's a new champion in town. The Boston University Terriers, the top seed, wins its 8th Hockey East Championship.
Here comes Carlson on the breakaway. Coming in, deep forehand, backhand, score!
That's all the time we have for this episode. Join us next time when we go between the pipes with the BU Netminders, recap the Terriers World Juniors experience, and profile BU alum and former NHL star Tony Amonte on the next edition of BU Terriers All Access. Thanks for watching.
Gets the line, moves and shoots. He scores! Tony Amonte!